Next, we have Michael Beatty, president of the Beatty Development Group, LLC.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here this morning, but more importantly, I'm really humbled to be here this morning. And I was asked to say a few words about the Harbor Point project that we're developing, but I thought I'd go and reflect a little bit on how we got here. But years ago, I was at this event, and we were talking about TIFs and projects and development. It was at Cross Keys Inn. And all of a sudden, it wasn't the Rocky music came on, but Wayne Frazier came on. And he pointed out that I had not done a good job on MBE, WBE participation. And whether he pointed it out or questioned it. And I said to myself, you know, I've built a lot of buildings in this city, and I always felt like I did a really great job on that. And it was a surprising comment to me, but what was more surprising to me is that I didn't know the facts. I didn't know how many companies had worked on our projects and what they were. I did know that we actually did a good job on it, but I didn't really know how we got there. And it dawned on me that really it was much more about process, because without having a good process and without having an understanding, you can't get better. And it's not just about those results, it's how you get there. So from that meeting, we set off on trying to create a better system and a better process. And it started out with the Exelon project, going forward and trying to get that project approved. We had a fantastic tenant, fantastic support. And I sat there in these community meetings and really in the city approval process meetings and going through very tough, very frustrating hearings. And they'd last late into the evening. And all of a sudden, coming in support for my project was a series of MBE, WBE participants, many of you in the room today. And I listened to stories about not the future only, but about the past and about the projects that we had gotten people to work on and how they built companies and not done one project, but done up to 13 projects in a row. And that's really what it was all about. So what I realized is it's something that needs to be talked about and promoted, and it's all about creating opportunity and creating awareness, and how can we go and build better and stronger companies. But it comes from the top, and everybody needs to understand that there's value, and there's huge value in it. In our city, building up phenomenal MBE and WBE companies has huge value to all of us. I think the past few weeks have highlighted that. And I think everybody in this room is part of the solution. And we need to focus on that solution of how to do better and better and develop more and more. So now I think our entire company, at least, really understands, for me personally, how important the success in this is. We met and worked with Wayne and Pat Frazier on trying to have better outreach and talk with people. We tried to listen a lot more. But the nice thing that's happening and what's going on is that we're being more creative. When we start thinking about a project, we start thinking about it day one about how we're going to have more inclusion in that project. Usually what happens is not out of malice or anything, but you start a project, you get down the road, you start going, and then you say, well, we need to bring participation in, and you've already made commitments. Well, now we're doing that from the start. Our next project we just filed for building permits on is the Point Street Apartments, and we have a partner, minority partner, on it from day one. When we started talking about design and engineering, we started thinking of how do we go and bring more people in, and it's not me anymore, it's my entire staff. I sat in a meeting the other day in our normal staff meeting, and we talked about the idea of having some small general contractors on the ready to do tenant improvements. And someone else jumped up right away and said, this is a great opportunity to bring in an MBE, WBE for that. So it's that type of focus that I think will get us moving to the next direction, and I'm excited to be a little part of that and excited to move forward. So with that, I'll give you a little highlight of the Harbor Point project as we see it going forward, but I'll also touch on another project that I'm even more excited about, which is the Old Town Mall project, a project we bid on recently, and a project that day one we came in with Danny Henson, with Kevin Johnson, and with Mission First as great partners on this project from day one to really do something that'll be exciting for the city, and I think we can build a couple million square feet there and have a great, phenomenal, inclusive project. On the image you see before us is just a site plan of Harbor Point, and Harbor Point is a 30-acre site. I spent 23 years with John Paterakis and his family developing the Harbor East site. We learned a lot, had some successes, but this site here, Harbor Point, is twice the size. It's 30 acres versus 17. We'll build over 3 million square feet of space on that site. The first building was the Morgan Stanley building, and the second building is the Exelon building, which you'll see on this image right here. We're focusing on great design. We're focusing on bringing in a lot of different folks into the project. Right now, we're at about $33 million in MBE participation and $11 million in WBE participation on this project, but it's only the start. We'll go from here after this building, and we're starting on the Point Street apartment building that you see in front of us, and we're really building a community. This is a 289-unit apartment building. Again, we have an MBE partner on this project, which is just a great addition to our development, and we'll continue building a great community at Harbor Point with this $90 million project that we just filed for building permits last week on. From there, we're in the design on Wills Wharf, another office building. We expect to get in the next few months into the design approval process. The image is showing on the screen of that, and we continue to try to build buildings that not only will create jobs on the short-term basis with construction, but hopefully bring more companies to our city and to the region that really want to expand and grow and create more permanent jobs over, and that's what that will do. So the last image on the screen is just a massing of the site, and I think this is an incredible opportunity to build something fantastic. The project at the end of the day will create thousands of jobs. You walk down there today and we're getting more and more people working on the site. I tour the building every week and it's fantastic to see. But going forward, you'll see thousands and thousands of jobs. So we hope to have success. We hope to continue building. I love this city of Baltimore, and I thank you all for being here. And most importantly, I thank you all for this honor. It's really, really humbling. Thank you.